This week from Crumbl Cookies, Kevin and I are going to be trying the key lime pie, caramel pumpkin cake, chocolate peanut butter featuring Oreo, and chocolate toffee cake. So these were provided to us free from Crumbl. As always, we give our true opinions on things. We're gonna start with the key lime pie. It has a buttered graham crust, lime filling, whipped cream, graham cracker crumbs, and a fresh lime wedge to squeeze on top. I can tell you right now, Kevin and I will not be squeezing any lime on top because we don't like wet. I don't want a wet cookie. I don't want wetness on top of my cookie.
Right.
I'm not interested in that at all. So we will be trying the lime that is provided, the lime filling that's in here. Okay. I think that's plenty of lime.
It is when you get the lime. They needed more filling. The filling's very, very thin. There's a lot of cookie.
What do you mean filling? Oh, you mean the
topping?
Yeah,
the topping is not very.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like pie filling.
Right. Now the graham cracker is it's chewy. It's very, very chewy, and it feels kind of. It doesn't feel like a traditional graham cracker crust, like a pie crust that you would go to the store and buy.
No,
because
it's very soft.
It's much thicker, and it's soft. It doesn't have that crisp graham cracker feel to it.
Yeah,
because
sometimes it's kind of grainy and crunchy. This is very soft.
Right, it's soft. I agree with you. It definitely could have had more filling. Because it is a very thin layer on top, but what I did get was very nice, and it's cool, and
it's just barely enough to overcome the flavor of the graham, though.
Yes.
So if there'd been a little bit more, it would have been more flavorful.
Yes, but I'm okay with that. I think it's a very pleasant lime, and it's not too overpowering. People that are really crazy about lime, which I normally do. I mean, I like lime, but you might be disappointed because it's not more powerful.
Unless you squeeze that lime over top, that might bump it up a little bit.
But I think it's perfect.
It reminds me a lot of those lemonade, the bars or pie or whatever we made.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of that kind of flavor.
Yes, it's very nice.
It's
just
good.
know that the graham is soft.
Yeah.
The next one is caramel pumpkin cake. And this one is very thick. Well, I mean, it's thick like a piece of cake.
It's like cake.
Let's see. Yeah. Pumpkin cookie with caramel cream cheese frosting and pumpkin cookie crumbs. And it's just the little pieces on top are just supposed to be barely
like
there.
really
Yeah.
more of a powder.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be like. So caramel cream cheese frosting.
Let me just say the whole place in there smelled like pumpkin spice. Wow, that's fluffy. I like the frosting.
Our whole box smells like pumpkin spice.
That is less cookie, more pumpkin bread. It's very bread-like. Of course, it is cake, but it's more dense than cake. It's more bread. It's more bread.
It is like a bread.
than cake.
But it is fluffy like cake.
I like it though. Yeah, it's not quite as dense as like a muffin. It's not that dense. I like it though.
Is there any way to try just some frosting by itself?
Just whatever. Go mess your picture up, not me. I like the frosting. When you first bite into it, that's what you taste is that frosting. It's really nice. I don't know if it's caramel, but
I do think there was some sweetness there, yes.
oh yeah, sweetness for sure.
But I mean a caramel sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you try it by itself.
Yeah, you get the caramel flavor.
Yeah. See, but I tell you why you question it is because when you eat it with the cake, the pumpkin spice is so strong. Those seasoning spices are so strong that you're like, you really don't necessarily taste the caramel.
Which is fine with me. I'd rather have a lot of pumpkin spice anyway.
I would too, but I do think it clearly adds a lot of sweetness. Trying that by itself.
Oh yeah.
Why are you messing with our Oreo?
I'm scooting it. I can't cut it. So.
But I think that is a delicious cookie. If you can call it a cookie, they're calling it cake. I agree with them. It's cake / bread. It's well baked. It's not crispy. It's soft. It's easy to eat.
And it's sweet enough to where it's very pleasurable. I mean, it's a nice cookie.
And it's pumpkin spice. You really taste the pumpkin spice, but none of those spices is necessarily stronger than the others. You know, like
it's well blended.
Like the ginger stronger than the nutmeg, or it's all just very well blended, and it's perfect.
It's like a pumpkin bread. I mean, if you ever had pumpkin bread, that's what it's like.
That is what it's like, yeah. I would like all of my pumpkin bread with that frosting.
Yeah, with some frosting.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
My only complaint about this one is, this is like they showed on the picture, it's a spiral instead of a fully coated cookie. I would rather than cover the whole cookie with the frosting.
Oh yeah.
Don't give me just a little spiral.
Well, we have a whole side that's not covered at all.
That's why I'm not cutting that side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we want to taste
I'm not cutting the side without the frosting on it.
Yeah, there's a whole part of it that's naked on top that we don't have any frosting at all. This is a chocolate peanut butter featuring Oreo. It is a chocolate cookie made with Oreo cookie pieces and peanut butter chips, topped with peanut butter mousse and a mini Oreo cookie. So those are peanut butter chips on the inside. Yeah. And no wonder this one is so dark, is because it's made with Oreo cookie.
I'm going to eat the frosting and then I'm going to try the cookie by itself. Yeah, the peanut butter frosting is very strong, like peanut butter.
The peanut butter, even though that whole cookie, even though it's made from Oreo or has Oreo in it, the star of the show is the peanut butter
and the frosting.
Yes,
yeah.
That's what you're tasting. Is that peanut butter? You're tasting the. I'm sure the peanut butter chips inside are adding peanut butter flavor.
A little bit.
But it's that peanut butter frosting that is so strong that...
That's why I'm saying I wish they'd covered the whole cookie with it.
I know.
Just a little bit.
Did you try the cookie by itself?
Yeah, it's a very dark chocolate cookie. Do you want a piece of just
Yeah, well, because I think you can get, if you get that end, I don't even think there's any chips in that end. So I can get just cookie with there's no chips in this piece at all.
It's a very dark chocolate cookie.
Crispy.
It was crispy on the outside, but I tell you, the inside was very soft. Almost gooey. So, not gooey, but it was very soft.
You know,
it's not a bad cookie.
No, it's a very good cookie. I like it. And when you don't get any of the peanut butter chips or the peanut butter top, you really do taste the Oreo. Yeah. And I do like the crispiness of it, but then that it is still soft on the inside.
It's just a darker chocolate, which Oreos are kind of a darker chocolate.
The cookie itself, though, without anything, any chips, any peanut butter, is a nice cookie.
Yeah, it's good.
Very, very good.
So if you get a piece without the peanut butter frosting, it's going to be less sweet, but it's still going to be good.
Yes, I as a peanut butter lover, I think it's a delicious cookie.
Yeah, my only complaint is, like I said, I wish they hadn't swirled it or spiraled it. I wish they'd just covered the whole thing.
So this one is called Chocolate Toffee Cake. And this one and the key lime are cool cookies. You want to keep these in the refrigerator.
Unless you eat them right away.
Unless you eat them right away, keep them in the refrigerator. Chocolate Toffee Cake. Chocolate cake inspired. So it's cake inspired cookie layered with whipped cream, caramel glaze, and toffee bits. And
the caramel that's sticky.
They put plenty of the toffee bits on top. I'm really impressed with the amount of toffee bits we got.
Yeah, it feels like it's literally just whipped cream. It is. Whipped cream. Who ate all my toffee?
The toffee bits are
I ate it all one
crunchy.
time.
Are very crunchy.
Mm-hmm. But now the toffee's gone. That chocolate cookie's almost as dark as that Oreo one is.
This one though is like a dark cocoa.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's almost like a
It tastes like cocoa.
hot
and
cocoa.
Yeah, it tastes like, no, I mean like baking cocoa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think hot cocoa tastes like baking cocoa.
Yeah, it tastes like baking cocoa, whereas the Oreo one did not have that.
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot more sweetness to it, the Oreo one does.
Yes, it
Even
does.
without the frosting, it has more sweetness to it. You know what I also liked about the Oreo one is it was softer in the middle, whereas this one overall was just a drier cookie.
It's drier, denser. Well, it's called, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a drier, denser cookie. Even though it does have the toffee, I mean, I know that toffee adds sweetness, but it is not as sweet. I don't think near as sweet as the peanut butter.
No, even like I said, just the cookie itself is sweeter.
That one for me is the least sweet of the four.
Probably.
I just don't.
Yeah.
That cocoa, it's too dark for me. I think a lot of people will love it, but it is a very dark flavored cookie.
Yeah, it is a baking cocoa kind of flavor.
But I love the amount of the topping that they put on it.
And you don't get the caramel. The
I don't
caramel
taste the
drizzle,
caramel at all.
It's just for decoration.
Yeah, it truly. Yeah, I didn't taste any caramel.
If they put frosting, if they put like a vanilla frosting on there or something, it would have been elevated.
Buttercream.
Yeah, it would have been elevated as far as the
I think it
goes.
needed it. I really wish.
If you're looking for something sweet.
Yeah, so they could have the cocoa cookie because that's not sweet at all.
Yeah, it has a good flavor. It's just not sweet.
It's not sweet. And then if they had used like a buttercream and then put the toffee on top of that, that would have been
really nice.
so much better because with what they used, it's just not, it's not adding enough sweetness to it to overcome that dark cocoa cookie.
But if you like a darker cocoa that you don't want the sweetness, that would be a good
There
choice.
you go.
well.
Then that's yours. Yeah. So now we're going to have to put these in order. What you?
Well, I think the sweetest one
favorite.
is, my favorite's the peanut butter Oreo.
Okay, and is that, what do you think is the sweetest?
That's probably the sweetest too, because the cookie itself has some sweetness, although it's got the Oreo that kind of takes away. But the pumpkin one was awfully sweet too.
I was going to
So
say, you think that the peanut butter on top is sweeter than the caramel on top of this
if
one?
this had been a little thinner and not quite as fluffy, then I probably would have said that was sweeter. But you're not going to get the frosting on all of this, so it's
Well,
it's a
unless
toss-up.
their crumble might put the front.
Well,
Their
even the
crumble might
picture-
go all the way to the end.
Yeah, that's true. But even the picture shows a spiral, so you're still not going to get as much.
Right.
I don't know. These are about the same for me.
I think so too. I'm thinking the pumpkin and the peanut butter one are the sweetest ones.
Yeah, they're like the ones that are sweet, and then the key lime would be the next one,
Yes.
and then the toffee one would probably
Yeah.
be the fourth one.
So your favorite is the peanut butter?
Yeah, although it's followed pretty closely by the pumpkin. I really do like the pumpkin.
I like the pumpkin one too. My favorite's going to be the peanut butter as well.
They did a good job on the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like I said, frosting on the whole thing.
Yeah, it
Wow.
just, I do wish it had more frosting because there's like a third of our cookie doesn't have any peanut butter at all, but it still is delicious. And like I said, even if you don't get that peanut butter chips or peanut butter on top, the cookie itself is the Oreo cookie. It comes through when you have just the cookie. But that one would be my pick, and then the pumpkin's going to be my second. Yeah.
And I like the key lime. It's just I wish they put a little bit more topping on it because the cookie itself, the granola, the graham, is really, really strong, and there's not a lot of the topping or filling or whatever you want to call it to really overcome it
Right.
strongly. I would have wanted more.
Well, you've got a lot of different choices.
It's definitely different.
Clearly very, very
There's
different.
something for everybody out
Yeah,
there.
the different bases, different choices. So I will have a picture for you at the end.
They have a mystery cookie this week.
Oh, yeah.
So you will have a mystery
Yeah.
cookie in your area that just Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think. Sorry. And then the semi-sweet chunk was the other one.
Yes. So thanks for watching.